strange in the neighborhood.
Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters?
No, you're going to call...
The wrong podcast.
Oh,
hey, everyone.
This is the smoothest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, you know, there was some turbulence there.
Give us
okay.
the Oscar. Joe, what's your favorite part of that song?
Busted Makes Me Feel Good.
Oh, it's such a good part.
If you've never heard this before, this is The Wrong Podcast. I'm Led. This is Joe.
Yo.
And Colton.
Yo.
And, Joe, you're leading today. We've got quite a bit of stuff to go over.
Yeah, I am the crazy captain on this ship that's going to sink.
You're the captain from Titanic?
Probably more like the Costa Concordia.
Oh, what a reference.
Oh, too soon.
Wow, you're so prepared today, Joe, with your quick wits and everything.
Let me just mark that joke off my
sheet.
sheet.
Yeah, you can just write that down. Yeah, take us away.
All right, so we're going to do a little fan favorite thing here, or at least our favorite thing. We talk about what we're doing, what we're playing in this past week. And we'll start it off here with Buddy Ledwing.
Oh, crap. I was hoping I could go second. Yeah, it's cool. Well, first of all, I've been having a lot of controller problems.
Aww.
So I just ordered 2 little module things for both of my Xbox One controllers. They drift like crazy.
I noticed that.
Yeah, your character will be standing, and then he'll just start walking forward.
Are you is it like replacing the sticks is what you're getting?
Yeah, the actual module. It's only only the left stick.
Okay.
So I have to unsolder it and solder the new one on.
All right.
Yeah, but it was sort of manageable, but it's been getting worse. Yeah. And then Mortal Kombat is literally unplayable.
Yeah, it can't be if you're jumping everywhere, yeah.
I'm amazed you were able to play Halo with the drift upward.
That's probably why he's so good at headshots, is because his controller just automatically drifts upwards. Yeah. That explains everything.
I aim center mass and it drifts up to the chin.
Man, I want that when I play Halo.
Have you been able to play any games or do anything fun lately?
Rocket League.
Yeah, I've been playing Rocket League.
Yeah.
I'm playing Rocket League, and the Porsche pack is out for Forza 6, so I will probably buy that. Comes with 21 cars and Virginia International Raceway, so I am excited. Ooh. It's $20, but it's worth it. So that's what I'm doing.
That's crazy. They're still putting out content for that game.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's a good thing.
Well,
obviously,
it just came out. I mean, September.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
It hasn't been out that long.
Yeah.
What about you, Colton? What have you been up to this week?
I bought Rocket League after we talked about it last week. I went home immediately after recording and bought it and played it most of Sunday. Really fun game, and we're actually going to be playing it as a Let's Play that we're going to be posting later in the week, which I know we've been talking about doing this for a week or two now. But me specifically, I actually watched the first episode of House of Cards Season 4 before picking Joe up to head over here. Oh, man. What a crazy show! I don't know if are you guys into House of Cards at all? I don't know if I've asked you this.
Oh yes,
I've never watched it.
You've never watched it?
It's like the Game of Thrones. The political world.
I'm not super political. I don't really have a lot of opinions when it comes to politics and stuff like this. But this show is so insanely interesting, and Kevin Spacey kills it.
You'll be screaming at your TV.
Yeah, the first episode alone is just. It's wonderful, and I've been waiting for the season to come up for a while, and I need to hurry up and get it done with because Tuesday The Division comes out, and I have it pre-ordered. So if I don't finish the season before that comes out, I probably never will. Yeah, I'll never finish it. So
those sorts of things kind of stress me out, which is why I only watched the first season of Walking Dead. It was just, it was like an exercise in being frustrated with the TV.
But at the same time, with Walking Dead, I've been watching it for 7 years now, so at this point, I can't give it up. It's like a commitment.
It's like a long-term relationship. Yeah. Even if you're unhappy in it, you still have to stay in it.
It's like at this point, there's nothing better I could be doing with my Sunday night, so I might as well continue to watch it.
No, Joe, you work on the relationship.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't have much of an opinion on Walking Dead, so...
Walking Dead is like an over-controlling girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is...
Abusive girlfriend.
This is getting really out of hand. Joe, why don't you tell us what you've been up to?
So, I, too, have been playing Rocket League.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Oh, man.
It's a fun little game. It's simple, but it's very fun. I have been starting to watch Fuller House, so a trip down nostalgia lane.
Oh, Carrie was telling me about it, too, that you guys are watching that.
Yeah, so they've changed quite a bit, especially Stephanie. Wowza, I must say.
Yeah, I've seen a clip, and she's very mature.
Voluptuous?
I was going to go more subtle, but we could go with that. She's got big boobs.
This is not a family show.
Oh, okay. They're huge.
Have we decided that? Is this a family show?
fuck. No,
If
it's
you're
not.
It's
under 18 and listening, you better have a beer in hand.
We're the Deadpool equivalency of a
Yes.
podcast, so...
If you brought your baby, get the fuck out.
I think I will watch it. I've been told to watch it just for purely the nostalgia purposes. Plus, they just announced they're going to do a second season anyways. So at this point, you might as well kind of get into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've also been went to the Division website because I saw there's a little mini game you could play there to infect the whole world. I decimated the world population in 21 days.
You monster.
Nice.
Well, it's really cool because
Shame on you. Awesome.
It's kind of like a side topic of that too. The Division just announced that they've told us all of their content for the next year, ahead of time. They told us the months and the general time frames of what content is coming out and what it's going to be about and what it's going to be called.
It's like Battlefield 4.
Right, Battlefield does that, but when's the last time, besides Battlefield, that you knew a game that before it even came out, they're like, hey, here's our third expansion that's going to come out in November, almost a year away. I can't think of any game that does that. So, I mean, it's a very ballsy thing on Ubisoft's part, but I think that just tells them that they have a lot of confidence in the game. So,
Can I have a very quick Fuller House question?
Oh,
real
sure.
quick.
Sorry.
Very
Yeah,
quick.
I went off topic.
I'm most of the way through the
Very
first
quick.
season.
Are the Olsen twins in it?
No. So
Yeah.
I haven't
What's the
heard
point,
why.
right?
What else do they have going on?
You got
Come on.
Stamos.
You know how in the original, though, the Olsen twins played one person, right?
Yeah.
They never showed twins. I don't think they did.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I never watched it. I mean,
You never watched Full House?
no, I was busy
Come on.
watching other stuff,
Like
Power
what?
Rangers and
Well, I mean, I
Batman,
did
the
too,
animated
but-
series and
I mean, I also watched those things, but I also
You didn't want to watch a stereotypically white show?
no.
coming from the whitest guy in the room.
Go watch Benny Hill.
But to be fair, Home Improvement was like my show growing up as a kid.
Yeah,
Home
I
Improvement
remember
was
that.
That was a horrible.
That was a
correction.
horrible Tim Allen. We should move on.
All right, so we'll get started with our first topic here, which is we're going to delve into our own little personal side of things here, so our
Aw.
listeners can maybe get to know us a little better.
Yeah.
We're going to
The
talk
intimate
about
side of things.
a place that we would like to visit but could never afford to.
I do have a question about this topic, though. Is it, could I say, Mars or anything like that?
You know-
somewhere, is it somewhere that, feasibly I could go, but financially I could never go?
The Black Hole Tesseract.
Exactly.
I
obviously.
was thinking Mars as well, but I put a backup on there as case because I know everybody wants to go to freaking Mars.
Go to Mars. Yeah, I'd go to...
You want to see
so
the
is this on
three-breasted lady?
Who doesn't?
What are
Let's keep it to Earth. But if you have nothing
Where?
else,
Earth?
Earth.
Earth? All right. I'll go first. Somewhere that I've always wanted to visit. It's probably one of my number one destination spots, but financially I know that it may never happen, at least until this podcast take off and we become internet famous and start making at least tens of 20s of dollars.
Hear
Yeah.
that, YouTube? Make it so.
Yeah, until we at least make $20 on this, I could probably never afford to go here. Japan. Japan is easily somewhere I've always wanted to visit, and I want to go to Tokyo. I want to see the city and stuff like that. But I also want to visit, the countryside, because from friends of mine or people that I've met that have gone, they've told me that it's almost like being on a different planet because it's so different than what we know here. That the culture is so different, but so eerily similar in a lot of ways too. So I want to go somewhere that you almost feel that you could be in a different. I mean, it is the other side of the earth. It would be such an amazing trip to go, and I've always really liked Japanese culture as well. I watched a lot of anime when I was a kid, and
I thought you were going to say you always like Japanese girls.
I that too, but I mean,
White boy fantasy.
okay, I know people can't see this, but raise of hands, who here likes Asian girls?
I am raising my hand.
I am also raising my hand. I saw you raise your
I
hand.
have no.
That's
comment.
a raise the hand.
I would
but yeah.
raise something else.
Listen, everyone. I love all women. They all have something to offer.
Back on topic though. Japan. Yeah, Japan is definitely known. I've also always wanted to go to New Zealand too because I want to visit all the sets from Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That's Colleen's
Yeah.
number one.
Oh, is it? But yeah, Japan. Ever since I was a kid, is somewhere that I've always wanted to go to, and financially, it's probably the most expensive direction for me to go because I think just tickets alone is $2,000 to get out there, if not more. So, and that's just to go to Japan, not to even stay in Japan. So
You could always bum a ride on like a freighter or something over there.
pull a Bruce Wayne and just jump on a boat after I get really upset after giving a homeless man my jacket and just end up in Japan one
Dude,
day.
If you can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, if Bruce Wayne, future Batman, can do it, I'm sure I can do
Definitely.
it. Yeah. For people that don't know, I'm basically Batman. So,
Yeah.
Edwin, how are you?
As your abs are gleaming off the ceiling light. Anyways,
I lift up my shirt. And just,
whoa. Well, you said Japan. Japan would really be cool.
yeah.
I guess I have, aside from that, probably a couple places in Europe, like as part of a multi-stop trip.
Sure.
So Spain, because, Puerto Rico. Before that, you have Spain. Like, culturally, there's kind of a lineage I'd like to check out. And
For people
Spanish
that don't
women?
know, yeah. Spanish women.
Spanish one. And then I'd like to go to Italy. Sant'Agata, Italy is where the Lamborghini factory is.
Ooh.
And then Germany, I hear my dad was stationed there and he
cool.
enjoyed it. I hear the architecture is amazing, and I'd like to visit the Nürburgring, also known as the Green Hell.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
It is a famous racetrack that's like
Oh, that's why I don't know what it is.
13 or 17 miles around. It's
That's
something
big.
stupid.
Mhm.
And it's like one of, if not the hardest racetracks in the world. And it's a public road.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
So they shut it down for big events, but there's
Right.
people like whipping around at 180 miles an
That's what I
hour.
was going to ask you.
A lot of people have like
Well, I mean,
slammed
if
into
you
trees.
have a lot of money and you have a really nice car, that's probably where you would go to kind of open it up, essentially,
the
if you lived
Autobahn?
in that.
Exactly. Well, yeah, the Autobahn would be cool too. But exactly, a lot of people have these fast cars, and you can't go fast because you don't want to run over someone's
But now
grandmother.
you can.
But now you can.
Arguably can't run over someone's grandmother.
Yeah. So
You don't
I mean,
know
that's
them.
about it. So those in Japan.
Now, you guys, you and Colleen, you guys are actually going on a trip next year, right? You guys are going on a cruise, right?
We're going next month.
Oh, crap, that's
Wow,
right.
that's right
I,
around the corner.
I completely forgot that was next month.
Where are you guys
Yeah.
sailing?
Nothing exotic. We're going to Universal Studios in Florida. Then we're going to Puerto Rico.
Right.
But we
great.
are going on a cruise next year, though.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Right.
Are you going to be on one of those ships that has like the water slide built around the deck?
Most cruise ships actually have that.
I've seen
That's
some
very
really
common.
cool footage online.
I've been on a cruise and mine didn't have it, but maybe I just was on
You're
one of
talking
the
about
ones that
water
doesn't.
slides in general, or the ones that go outside?
That go outside, that go all the way around the deck.
Oh, that's
yeah.
new.
Yeah, those are crazy.
I went on
yeah.
one that had water slides and stuff, but
But it
not
was probably just
like
like a
that.
straight-
Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
mine had too. Yeah, but those ones, like the idea of like going outside the boat, oh, that'd be awesome.
I know. What about you, Joe?
So
What are you on?
You're actually playing. You and
I
me
think
were
you
just
guys
talking.
limited yourself short here. I literally picked a place that nobody has ever been.
Mount Doom.
Because
Eternia.
I want to go to Japan, I want to go to Europe, but hell that I won't never be able to afford it.
Laurentian Abyss?
Yeah.
So I want to go
Arabia.
to. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this place. I forget his name because it's some crazy pronunciation, but the very first emperor of China. He's the same guy who has the Terracotta Army, which I'm sure you guys have heard of.
Was his name John China?
John China.
That's obviously who they named him
It's
after,
like
right?
King China.
Damn it, John China.
China.
Give me your badge and gun.
Hey, we could have Chinese listeners here, so I'm trying to be respectful.
I apologize, all the John Chinas out there. Continue.
So this guy, he has a tomb that it's literally a man-made like hill that's very big, and why it's never been discovered. This is some like Indiana Jones type shit right here. He had a very big like fascination, almost like a fetish with lead, and his tomb had lead rivers.
I'm not really that great. I don't see what he would be.
Shut up.
I had to. Come on.
It's good.
Yeah,
I would have too.
That was punny.
If he had said coal, I'd been like, well, I mean.
If it was a coal fascination, we would have dug that shit up a long time ago. But no, it's so toxic that they can't. It's too dangerous to open up.
That's
But
crazy.
This guy was like as wealthy as any pharaoh was. So can you imagine the stuff that must be in there? It's like
Yeah.
Indiana Jones type level. Like
This is very
rivers of lead they constructed in his tomb.
Legends of the Hin Temple TV movie of
What
you.
they should have done with the last.
You didn't hear about that? We'll go back to it.
Oh yeah, we can talk about
Yeah,
it.
continue.
But yeah, I would love to go there, but I know I could never go because of
Because
nobody's
it's
been
impossibility.
there.
Yeah. All right, I see what you're going for. Yeah, that'd be really cool. To be like the first person to ever explore something like
You'd have to
like
be in a protective bubble.
like Bubble Boy, like Jake
The
Gyllenhaal.
Moops and the Moors.
Yeah,
Can you imagine a Indiana Jones movie where Indy was just in a bubble during the entire?
I'd watch that. I'd watch the hell out of that movie. Only if it's Harrison Ford looking super pissed the
he's
entire
getting chased
time.
by when the big rolling rock is coming down the hallway.
Oh,
Just
but he's in a
imagine
big
him in
bubble?
the hamster ball instead.
No, I want them to remake that with Shia LaBeouf as like Indy in the scene, but then it's Harrison Ford in the giant boulder as the giant bubble, and then he actually squashes him, and then says this was for Indy 4, and then punches his body. How dare you swing with monkeys?
Wow.
Oh man.
No, Edward, you didn't hear about the Legends of the Hidden Temple TV movie?
No, not at all.
Yeah, so they're bringing back Legends of the Hidden Temple, which, as some people will know, we're gonna insert this picture into the video. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Please do this, Edwin, our editor.
No guarantees.
I dressed up as a Legends of the Hidden Temple contestant for Comic-Con with my buddy Tommy as a Green Monkeys, and actually I went to your party as that too.
Yes, that's
No,
right.
I went to his party as that. Sorry.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So they're bringing it back as a TV movie, where they're gonna do a Legends of the Hidden Temple like TV movie.
What's going to be
Yes, that's
interesting
right.
though, it's going to be like, from my understanding, they're going to do it like it's still a TV show, like a contestant TV
Yeah.
show, but it's going to be
a one-off
feature length
movie.
like a movie.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's very confusing.
please explain
So,
that again?
do you
We
remember
don't
the
know.
original Legends of the Hidden Temple where a bunch of kids competing
It was a
on
game show.
obstacle course?
Yeah.
So they're going to take a game show and keep the game show format, but make it movie length.
Was that where you had to climb the crag?
You
No,
had to
no, no,
climb,
no, no. You're
like-
thinking Guts.
It was more like you went through
Never
like
mind.
these obstacle courses that were like.
And it had
Mayan or Aztec
Olmec,
themed.
the big head that talked to people. That was like the Rock Zordon.
Okay, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, it was like the kid show, and there was the silver monkey, the green monkeys.
It was
and
like the kids' version
red
of Gladiators.
barracudas. Yeah.
I was more into Double
kinda.
Dare.
Who wasn't?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
All right, so next topic here is we're going to enter a little bit of a hardware theme. We're going to talk about, I think Edwin's going to kind of take this one away because he's been doing some research and has been hyped about this, is the recent announcement of the Galaxy S7 and what it can do.
Ooh.
Yeah, so in addition to the Galaxy S7, there was also the announcement of the LG G5. But anyways, Mobile World Congress, the big cell phone convention happened, I think,
Last week.
Yeah. The Galaxy S5 was announced. I'll just start off with that. They're bringing waterproof or water resistance back. They're bringing back removable storage.
Thank
which is-
God.
yeah.
Thank
definitely a
God.
win.
For anyone that doesn't have removable storage, I feel bad for you.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, you poor mothers.
What hellhole you must live in. Anyways, so they're keeping approximately the same screen size. There's going to be a normal version, and then the Edge. The Edge will be
Yeah.
slightly bigger.
Yeah, it's going to have a better processor in it, too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Better processor, still a 2K screen. So for those who are hoping for 4K, which would
Yeah.
help with Google Cardboard, you're out of luck this time.
I mean, that's a lot to ask for a mobile device anyways. So, I mean, imagine screen or battery life on a 4K screen
Yeah.
as of right now.
Well, the the Xperia V10 is the only 4K phone at the moment, and that battery
Yeah.
just
You turn it on,
gets
it immediately
destroyed.
dies.
Yes, goes down to 50% in
Yeah.
10 seconds.
One text per charge.
And what they have announced for the S7 is that if you pre-order it, any time between it was like 2 days after the convention and like the end of March, you actually get a free Samsung Gear VR.
That's
headset.
what
Which
I
is
thought you would be excited
crazy.
about.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really afford a phone right now, but
Right.
if someone here is listening and they want to get a phone, that might be a good idea.
If you
But
guys subscribe to our channel, and then we can afford to get him a phone.
yes, please
Yes.
help me. The battery on my OnePlus One is really starting to fall apart.
It can only
No
last for
removable
1.1 seconds.
battery though on the S7.
I find it interesting how, though, like, Samsung has the policy of let's keep adding stuff to our phones, where Apple has the opposite philosophy. Like, they took away the headphone jack now.
Oh,
So
shots fired.
yeah,
Shots
yeah.
fired.
But I find that it's interesting philosophy.
There's no Apple love in this room, by the way, people. Not
Yeah.
much of it.
I got a dead Mac Mini up in the kitchen. So.
He uses like a door opener.
I think iPads are pretty cool, and I like
I mean,
iPods originally.
all that sounds wonderful. I mean, Samsung. I had a Samsung Galaxy original. I had like an OG one back when they were like first on Verizon.
Yeah.
Original gangster Samsung?
Yeah, original gamer. And that thing was awesome. I mean, that was like, it paved the way for Android phones at the time. And this was back when it was, oh God, what was the OS way back when? Like, it was even before Jelly Bean, whatever the one was before
It would have
that.
been Gingerbread, I think.
Yeah, Gingerbread. Yeah, so it was.
Do you
it
know
was
what
before that?
new OS is for going to be on the S7?
Or are they waiting for like them to put out a new one with like the Nexus phone
I think
or something?
it is a new one that they're using.
Like they're getting the brand
Marshmallow,
new
that's
Marshmallow.
Ooh,
Marshmallow.
okay, nice.
Now, not to be outdone, this is why I bring up LG. LG announced the G5 that has a removable battery.
Mm-hmm.
It also has removable storage, and there is also an available VR headset. And on top of that, both LG and Samsung are coming out with VR cameras.
Nice.
Wait, so how does that work with VR cameras?
Well, a camera, Joe, as I will now explain to
Two
you.
image sensors.
When light hits a sensor.
Is it like what the Oculus does with the camera, so it sees your body in that space and it can kind of duplicate it?
No, so the cameras are extremely similar to each other. It's basically a ball with one camera on each side of the ball, and each camera has a fisheye lens, and then the camera itself stitches the image together into a 360.
Kind of think of like
view.
what panorama things do, where like when you move it from here to here, but then it overlays images on top of each other, and then to combine it to make them larger images.
The software makes it seamless, hopefully.
Yeah.
Makes it seamless, and there you go.
Yeah.
Where was I? Where was I? Oh yeah. So the LG added USB-C,
Nice.
which the Galaxy decided to skip out on.
I have USB-C on my phone. I love
You were
it.
just talking about how great it was.
Dude,
to charge
my
your
phone
for an
charges
hour.
in like an instant. I could go 2 days without charging my phone, and it's wonderful. And I'm a pretty heavy phone user too. Like I'm on, the Instagram all the time for the podcast. I return text every so often. You guys hit me up on Facebook all the goddamn time, and it gets super annoying sometimes too. But I mean, I love USB-C. I think every phone will obviously eventually probably head that direction. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
USB-C is also good for quick charging.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, it's got the removable battery. If you'll look over there,
over where?
Over yonder.
maybe I'll post an image. I don't know. Depends how I feel. The LG G5 allows you to remove the battery by basically sliding the bottom of the phone out,
That's really interesting.
and the battery is
That
connected.
is crazy.
What else can that do, you ask?
You can store your bubble gum in
What else could that do, Edwin?
I'm glad you asked.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell
I'm
you.
so glad I asked. In no way persuaded to ask, subtle or not.
There are different things you can plug into the bottom of the phone. It's kind of modular.
I was going to ask, is this basically their way of kind of getting into modular phones where like you could
Pretty
replace
much.
out like add RAM or processor speed or stuff like that? Because remember, there was that
add
phone.
a gun.
Yes, you could definitely add a gun.
My phone is also a gun.
Remember, what was that phone that came out? Edwin, you might know this off the top of your head, but do you guys remember that phone that it was like a concept from like 2 or 3 years ago where it was a purely module phone?
Yes.
That had those little, it was like I think it was called like block phone or something like that.
Phone blocks.
Phone blocks, yes. And I remember hearing about this, and I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. The idea of having a blank slate, but you get to basically customize your phone based on what you use it for.
Right.
That is amazing.
They
That
ended
is-
up working
oh
with
my
Motorola,
God.
and they're still putting things together,
What a cool idea.
but nothing has come out quite yet. But, so anyways, with the G5, so some of the things you can add are a camera grip
Nice.
that has an extended battery, and there's also like manual focus controls.
Good
and that
for
sort of
photo
thing.
buffs.
Is
and
this
stuff.
really
Oh, yeah,
called
yeah.
G5 Friends?
Yes.
So it's like the
The
phone has a
modules are
bunch
called
of little
Friends.
friends.
I don't like it.
One other one is a hi-fi audio dongle thing that you put on the bottom, so it'll put out like high resolution,
Oh, look, it's G5's friend Dongle.
a high resolution signal. So
Who invited Dongle to
if
the
you have
party?
really, really sweet headphones,
Sure.
or you have a sick car system, you plug that in. There's another one that allows you to communicate with this ball thing that rolls around and has
Looks
a
like
camera.
BB-8.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And I still haven't figured out what exactly that'd be useful for, but
Pretend you have a
whatever.
droid.
I'd imagine explosives.
Yeah.
yeah.
It looks
Maybe
like
it's like that little robot from Metal Gear Solid 4, where you,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
send it out, and you know
Yeah.
it's camouflage, and then you can shock the shit out of people you don't like, because that would
Yeah.
be a great friend.
You're just describing BB-8 more. And then it gives you a little flame thumbs up.
Yes. Oh, my God, I love that.
God, if it could do that at one time, if that little ball could give me a flaming thumbs up, I'd buy that shit right now.
So,
Which is really funny for me to say, too, because I'm a purely Windows guy.
That's what I was going to ask. What phones do you guys have right now?
I mean, you guys...
No, you start. You go first.
I'll go first.
You have the best phone out of all.
I do have the best phone because, well, I mean, my phone's the newest as well. For anybody that knows me knows that I'm a really big Microsoft fanboy. I have, Xbox, I have Windows 10 on my laptop and my PC.
He has Bill Gates tattooed on his junk.
No, he has my face on his. Because I bought so much of his shit. He better at this point. No, and I'm a big supporter of the Windows Phone platform as well. So I bought a brand new Windows phone with a Windows 10 mobile platform on it when it came out just a couple months ago, and I love this phone to death. This thing is wonderful. I mean, a great picture quality. USB-C, so it quick charges.
Liquid cooling?
No, actually. So I have the normal one. I have the 950, and then they have the 950 XL, and that's the one that has the liquid coolant. But that one's only available when I was going to purchase it for uncarriered, unlocked phones, which was really hard to get when they were brand new. Obviously,
$700-800.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend.
Has the Windows app market expanded?
Well, I know that. Transition into next topic. Ha ha ha. We were going to talk about the Universal Windows platform. There's been a lot of conversation recently about games that are universal on Windows 10 as well as that. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No. I was just wondering what kind of phone Joe has.
Right.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, obviously, yeah. I mean, I love my Windows Phone. It's the greatest, and it's definitely. To me, it serves all of my needs. Yes, there's always that concern about app selection, but Microsoft's making a lot of strides to make everything universal right now. But I still miss some big ones. I get asked all the time, "Oh, are you on Snapchat?" And then I throw a brick at them and ask them. I can't have Snapchat. No, Snapchat hates Microsoft. It's not even that Microsoft doesn't want Snapchat. Snapchat CEO has flat out said the Windows platform is a dead format, and I will never put an app on that. He just doesn't like Bill Gates.
Wow, that's a real big slap in the face.
Yeah, I know. So, hey, if that guy ever happens to listen to this podcast, fuck you. Joe, could go. What phone do you have?
I've had my phone for quite some time now. It's been over 2.5 years. I have an HTC One,
That thing's ancient.
which at the time, that was great. It's still a fast phone. I've never had problems with anything slow or waiting.
It's a good phone.
Now, I have had some hardware issues. My front-facing camera is practically useless in any indoor setting.
I will take all your selfies for you.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I have to rely on other people to selfie me, or else I get a purple haze on all my pictures. Not the good type of purple haze either. Whoa! But it's a solid phone, and I kind of have a mentality that when I drop $600 on a phone, there's kind of a philosophy that these smartphones you only can have for 2 years. If you drop $600 on a piece of hardware, would you only have it for 2 years?
Yeah, I bought my laptop for around then. I've had that thing for 2 years, and I plan to have it for ideally a couple more.
Do you guys both have carriers?
Yes, I have T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
AT&T.
You're in AT&T?
I was on Verizon, but Verizon and Windows just don't seem to work well together. So when the new Windows phones were coming out, I actually switched to AT&T to get this one, which is, to me, dedication.
Okay.
And AT&T is actually better. My bill's way cheaper.
It is a lot cheaper.
Oh, it's so
I used
much
to have
cheaper.
AT&T. I'm on Cricket now.
Oh, okay.
And,
How do you like Cricket?
It's actually fine. I have no issues with it whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, we also happen to all live in a very...
We're in an urban environment.
We're in an urban environment. There's cell towers
Yes.
everywhere. There's a cell tower right here in the middle of
We're
this
in
room
any
right
town,
now.
USA.
That's how Edwin
Joe
pays
is
the rent.
literally a cell tower right now. There are that many.
Yes, I sold my body to Verizon.
To science.
Edwin, I was going to say, you probably have the most unique phone of us all here.
Yeah, I have a 1+1, and because I'm on Cricket, they don't have contracts, so I paid full price for it. Well, 1+1s were only $350 when they came out. The problem is they don't have removable batteries. You can replace them, but it's a pain.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
You gotta like take the screen off and everything too, right?
No, you kind of have to take it apart, but the screen stays.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of getting a 950 XL or getting an LG G5.
We talked about Windows phones for a long time.
I know.
Come
well,
over.
I have a Lumia 650.
Right.
That I got when I switched to Cricket. They just gave me a phone. All right, whatever.
Free phone. That's
and I really liked it, but it's a low-end phone, so the stats weren't,
you couldn't show it off and feel confident about yourself.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was missing things. Like, it didn't have a front-facing camera. It didn't have flash. It was very stripped down.
Which is really weird to
Windows
hear
as a
nowadays
platform
too, because for phones, I mean that's such a standard thing nowadays. It's like, oh, your phone doesn't have a front-facing camera.
I remember it's when like
What the
Razor
hell?
phones were like
that doesn't
the
make a
thing.
big difference to me.
Yeah.
But lacking a flash is a big problem.
You need that.
Yeah, dude, come to Windows side. We have cookies.
Well, since we're talking about
I have to
Windows
pay full
now,
price,
I think
so-
we're all pretty excited about this, the Universal Windows platform.
Yay!
So I have different thoughts on this.
Can you
I think
explain
it's-
what it is for people who
So,
don't know?
to those of you who haven't heard yet, Microsoft is Windows or Universal Windows platform is Microsoft's unifying all of their platforms, which is the Xbox One, PC, phone, underneath one umbrella. And what that means, specifically for gaming, is any game that will be, from what I understand, at least made by Microsoft, will also be made for PC now.
Right.
And even bigger news, I think, than that is that they'll be cross-platform. So people on Xbox will finally be able to play more games with their friends at the same time on PC.
We talked about this probably 2 weeks ago about when Quantum Break was announced that's going to be universal. But yeah, that's exactly it. That if any studio that has a good relationship with Microsoft, most likely a lot of Microsoft exclusive games like Xbox exclusive titles will probably be the first ones to get this, is that they'll be able to, basically you purchase one title, but you get it for 2 different platforms. And now you have all this extra ability to buy one title and have your save files on multiple computers, and then also the connectivity aspect of it. So like you prefer PC gaming and I prefer Xbox gaming, but we can still now play together as long as this game is one of these Universal Windows platforms titles.
Which I think 2 games that are already out that can do this are the recent Rocket League.
Yeah, Rocket League.
And the Forza that Edwin was talking about.
Yep.
And soon to be Quantum Break.
So if anyone also doesn't know, so Forza is being used as a way to test this out.
Yeah.
So a PC version of Forza is coming out this spring, meaning
probably
within
like
the
a
next
month or
2
two.
or 3 months. It's called Forza Motorsport 6 Apex.
Yep.
60 cars, maybe 10 to 15 tracks, but it's for PC. So they're trying to test this out. Now this is good. Like if you've ever wanted to see what Forza looks like, and you own a Titan Z or something, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
As far as a graphical perspective, but
yeah.
So Microsoft also announced with this that the Xbox One would be upgradable.
Awesome.
So we're looking at upgrade hardware now.
Modular devices.
My
which is
initial
awesome.
thought was that's awesome, but then I thought, and I'm like, this is not something new to the console world.
It's a very weird topic because you're right. I mean, in theory, this is amazing. The idea of saying, "Hey, I don't I don't buy physical copies of games. I do exclusively digital downloads. So if I could remove my disk drive, just as an example, to put in extra hard drive space or something like this, or increase the processing speed of my Xbox." This is amazing. The issue I will run into this is because if we allow people to have so much customization with their Xbox, are we opening it up to the possibility of modding and hacking for people to kind of take advantage of the situation, basically?
I'm not even...
I am worried about that. Yeah.
I'm more worried about... So when I was saying that this isn't something new, like... Sega 32X, Sega CD, then the Nintendo 64 expansion, and then the little-known Nintendo 64 CD expansion, which I think was only in Japan. These are things that have been done. The PlayStation 2 network adapter. But there's been lots of hardware modifications for consoles.
Yeah.
Now, is this just going to be another gimmicky thing, or is this something like when I look at my Xbox? We have one right in front of us here now. It's a very. Are they going to change the design by just sticking something on the back or top of it, or is this actually going to be something you could pull out?
Well, you bring up a really good point too. Is that there are already Xbox Ones available right now. So if they launch this, let's say they launch in a year. What are they going to do with the people that already, the millions of people that already... It'd probably have to be another
platform.
I'm going to guess that this is something cool, but they may wait to launch another console that has this. Because, would you buy an entirely new Xbox right now just for the concept of having modular stuff after only owning it for a year or two?
No.
Yeah. So I think this is maybe something that they will do in the future. But yeah, the idea of having a console that's customized to me, that is amazing. That is such a cool thing.
Go ahead, Edmund.
So yeah, if they're able to pull this off, they would actually have a shot at pulling off Steam machines better than Steam machines have pulled off Steam machines.
Yeah. You're basically bridging the gap. They're already trying to bridge the gap between PC gaming and console gaming anyways with the Universal Windows platform. So now making hardware also that bridge between PCs and customizable consoles. You might as well just have everything running the same platform at this point.
So with the USB 3.0, there are some advantages where I'm thinking they could just add that modularity to it, because USB 3.0, technically wise, is faster than even like onboard motherboard SATA connections.
Sure.
Geeking out a little bit here, but that's
what?
That's one way if they could.
Not
it is. USB 3.0 is faster than internal connections on the motherboard using SATA 2. I know. It blows your mind.
Okay. Wow.
But, that's one way they could do it, but how attractive is that to say, hey, look at my expansion for my Xbox One, which increases, my RAM and processing power, but literally you're just taking another box, placing it on top of your Xbox and plugging it in with
I think you'd remove something from your current box, and there'd be a design to it. You're not going to be cramming boxes on top
We actually talked about this recently.
That's how the Sega expansions were.
Yeah, we talked about this recently because we were talking about Sony's VR, that they were going to have this extra box that would be basically attached to it that would then enable VR technology.
Yes.
So is Xbox just going to do the same thing? Just in between your HDMI, are you going to insert something into the back that'll now give you a faster processor or more hard drive space? I don't know. I just find it that it almost feels like a slappy add-on at this point because the console wasn't designed to do that.
It'd have to be for a new console.
I would say that, because the Windows Universal platform is still very much in its infancy and they can't even get fucking Snapchat on their phones, that they should wait for the next console to do this. But the question is, do they wait too long and then this doesn't become as important? Or right now, if they do it right now, then no one else is doing it. But if they wait too long, Sony will do this. Nintendo may do it.
You may want to mention
Steam may do it.
How Epic feels about it.
Right. And the other thing, too, is not everybody's super thrilled about this. The CEO of Epic, in a recent quote when they were talking about the modular consoles and the Windows Universal, he said that the Windows platform can, should, must, and will die. And this is the guy that makes Epic, which has made Microsoft games before too, so it's a very weird comment to hear from someone. And I love the response from the COO from Microsoft. He was just like, "Oh, we took that feedback and we internalized it, and we're gonna take it forward." It's such a corporate response to something.
I can see gripes from developers because the benefit of a console whose hardware doesn't change when you're developing a game, you can think about that for the specs throughout the entire development.
But if it changes,
mid-process of a game, and all of a sudden, Microsoft is like, "Hey, we just came out with this new upgraded version. You now have to make your game be compatible with that too." So that's just some closing thoughts I think on that. It's going to be exciting, I think, to see if they do it well.
Yeah.
But I am skeptical that it can go the same route of the.
I hope
Sega
it does.
CD
I really do.
That,
I think it's a really clever idea, and like I said, the idea of having the same level of customization that I have in my PC on my home console. That's such an exciting thing. That's a developer's dream in a lot of ways. But you're right. This could cause a lot of real problems. But if they can get the platform functioning the way that they want it to, they can get tons of developers. Because even if one let's say 343 says no, And
I
they
don't
just
think they can because they're owned by Microsoft. But yeah.
But let's say some big studio doesn't like this.
EA says
EA,
Yeah.
Infinity Ward, Call of Duty. As much as none of us are huge fans of it,
Used to be.
arguably, let's say that they're just like, we're going to skip Xbox this year because we didn't have enough time to develop because of all the changes they're making on their console right now. They could really be shooting themselves in the foot by making this decision. So I think it's an all or nothing type thing.
We'll see
You
how
do it
it
if everybody agrees to it, but if you can't make it work, maybe it wasn't meant to be.
This is either going to work spectacularly or it's going to
fail
or it's going to
horrifically.
fail. And God knows the Windows platform has been on thin ice since the very beginning anyways.
Yeah, and
so,
Xbox kind of needs
Right. Yeah.
kind of needs a jump start from losing the sales race.
This could either push them forward to the point where no one could ever catch up, or push them so far behind that you might as well just trade in your Xbox for a PlayStation right now.
You heard it here first, folks.
Whoa, wait, no, cut that out, no.
We'll see what happens.
This episode's sponsored by Sony.
So we're gonna shift gears here, and we're gonna do a little bit of ghost busting.
Ooh.
Trailer just came out. For,
Wait, was that a joke you just made?
yeah, I've been trying.
Yeah, it was good. I liked
Coast
it.
to
Yeah.
Concordia. Wait, next one off my list.
You're so clever tonight. Man, we should do late night recording more often.
Oh yeah, if you guys don't know, this is the late night session.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is a
We're in New
podcast
York
after
City
dark.
right now. Well, we're at least in a room where there's a fake drop of New York City in the background.
Yeah.
By fake drop, I mean green screen.
Green screen.
Yeah. So it's like we're there, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were gonna,
But
rat feces everywhere. It's
Ghostbusters.
great.
So this week we got our first trailer for the new Ghostbusters movie, and everybody's talking because we finally officially know our all-female cast and who it is. So it's going to be... Everybody knew this one. It was going to be Melissa McCarthy. That was kind of known. But then some other lesser-known names, at least to me, was Leslie Jones.
who is she?
Exactly.
I mean, I know who she is, but who is
So-
she?
Where's she from?
She's not seen it. So I'll be honest here. As far as the four here, so
A lot
I'm
of
just going to
SNL
say
people.
the names. Exactly. That's
Yeah,
what
they're
I was
all
going to say.
SNL people.
Melissa McCarthy, Leslie Jones, Kate McKinnon, and Kristen Wiig. The only two I am familiar with are Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy.
Right. Because I mean, they've been doing a lot more, but the other two are almost exclusively known from SNL.
Kristen Wiig was in Zoolander too.
And Kristen
yeah.
Wiig was also the commander in
She kicked
The
ass,
Martian.
by the way.
Wait, what?
She's
What?
the
Oh,
commander.
Oh, she was
in
the
Martian.
commander in The
Yep.
Martian. Yeah, that's right.
I liked her performance.
No, she's done tons of. Melissa McCarthy's done a lot of stuff too. She was in Heat with Sandra Bullock. She was in a spy movie recently
It's
that I
literally
never
called
saw.
Spy. So
Oh, it's
that's
called
why
Spy. Okay, that's it.
I don't
Yeah.
really follow that well because generally most of her movies that come out,
Yeah,
the trailers
yeah.
don't grab me. Like the Spy movie, like I saw that and I'm like, eh.
But I guess the big
Seem like
question,
cheap
and I'm sure
laughs.
this is why we bring it up, is we've all seen the trailer.
I've seen it multiple times.
I've seen it once.
What
I've
do we
even
all
cross-referenced
think about
it to
it?
the original trailer for
Oh, me
Ghostbusters.
too.
Let's
yeah.
go around.
Yeah.
Let's go around and give each other 5 minutes because this could easily.
Okay.
There. No, we're good on time.
All right, so we'll start with
But
Colton here. Since I
disregard-
think he's got a lot to
disregard my
talk
sentence.
about Ghostbusters.
All right, so I love Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is one of my all-time favorite movie franchises. I have so many fond memories of growing up watching Ghostbusters as a kid, and I loved watching the animated show as a kid as well, which is amazing, and nobody can ever argue at that point that the animated show
Slimer, especially. In
oh,
that.
so great. So when they announced the idea of doing a new Ghostbusters movie, and then you hear that none of the original people are on board with it due to Bill Murray having no interest in coming back to it.
Dan Aykroyd's dead.
Dan Aykroyd's not
Dan
dead.
Aykroyd's still alive.
He's
Wait. Ooh, I
Oh,
messed that one
God,
up.
yeah.
Sorry, Dan Aykroyd, don't die.
Dan
on us.
Aykroyd is super alive,
Oh.
selling Crystal Head vodka all over the world, which I've had. It's awful. And like Rick Moranis isn't acting because he's
Harold
a good
Ramis
guy.
died.
Harold
Thank
Ramis
you.
is dead. So yeah, I mean the idea of doing a continuation in the same universe but somewhat of a spin-off, it just sounded really weird to me. And then when I heard that they were like going the full female route with it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but there's just it just sounds overly complicated for what should be a very simple movie, which is busting ghost. It's literally like the simplest concept in the entire world. This is like this almost reminds me of. Do you guys remember when they announced they were going to do the Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Michael Bay was like, "Oh, they're not going to be ninjas or turtles. They're going to be aliens who like look like turtles." And the internet like uproared to the point where he rewrote the entire script
I didn't know
because
that.
no, his original thing was like they were going to be aliens and they were going to look like turtles and like adapt our culture. And it was going to have nothing. And then when like he put up concept art about it, like the internet lost.
They make fun of it in the movie. If
Yes.
you've seen the movie, April goes, aliens?
Yeah.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because
Yeah.
somebody thinks they're aliens.
So the entire production was like really, really crappy from the beginning, and then the internet uproared. So like I kind of associated with that in a way that it's a very simple movie. Just make it the way that it is. That being said, after watching some actual footage from it, it doesn't look as bad as I think I wanted it to look. I wanted to look like the worst thing in the entire world so I could hate this movie forever.
Because the original people are not in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love those movies so much.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters 1 is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Like, easily one of my top 10 movies. And like I said, I'm sure it's if I shut my brain off and watch this movie, it'll actually be a lot like the Ninja Turtles movie, which isn't the worst thing in the entire world. It's still not a great movie, but there are some redeemable moments about that movie. So I'm thinking that this movie will be a lot like that. That there will be, the action will probably be pretty good. There might be a joke here and there that I'll like, but enough of it will be kind of shitty that I won't love the movie. But there will be enough of it where I can be like,
I did think in the trailer, Melissa McCarthy getting possessed and then her neck
that looked
starts
really
twisting
funny.
around, that looked funny.
And visually, it looked really cool. I mean, all the ghost in like the middle of like I think it was Madison Square, it was
They were
Times
definitely
Square.
outside
Yeah.
during most of the
I mean,
fighting
it looked really cool. And
Slimer is briefly in the trailer.
And so there's enough there that I'm definitely going to go see it, even if it's bad. I mean, it's like watching the fourth Indiana Jones movie. Like, you gotta watch it. You're not gonna not watch
Do you
this
think
movie.
that's where I think like Hollywood is playing us there because they're like, is this a movie that could have been made better, but they're just doing it now?
A money grab?
Yes, because they know people will watch it just because
They're going purely based on the nostalgia aspect.
Yeah.
The problem with it is nostalgia sells. No matter
Sure does.
ask,
Hollywood knows that too.
Ask anyone. We've literally talked about multiple nostalgia things in this episode. Legend of the Hidden Temple TV movie. That is clearly a cash grab. When's the last time someone mentioned Legends of the Hidden Temple in a sentence? Other than me, who apparently talks about it all the time and wears costumes about it all the time. Literally every sentence out of my mouth is Legend of the Hidden Temple. So yeah, I mean, is it? But is this also that whole like joke of that Hollywood's run out of good ideas, original ideas, and they're just going to keep remaking the same crap over and over again? Maybe, probably, but I'm still going to go watch it because the title is Ghostbusters.
How do you feel about it, Joe?
So I know, Edwin, you've had some thoughts on the actual cast selection, and so
We'll get to that.
the director, who is Paul Feig, F-E-I-G, Feig,
Paul
Feig?
Feige?
Paul
Yeah,
Feig Newton.
Feig?
He announced that they chose this cast because, like the original, he said the original picked the funniest people in comedy at the time. When he said that, and I looked at the cast, I'm like,
What?
who do you think is funny? Like the first like women comedians that I think of right away, like Tina Fey, Ellen DeGeneres, like these are like.
Do you think of Ellen DeGeneres as
I think she's pretty funny.
She's funny. I like her. She's funny.
Tina Fey? I would love to see Tina Fey and Amy Poehler in this movie. I'd watch the shit out
I
of
think
this
Tina
movie.
Fey was born to do this movie of an all-women
Well,
cast.
apparently not,
I
because
guess
you didn't
not
get
either.
it.
I could see the choice for Melissa McCarthy. I think she'll do all right.
She's all right.
Now, the for Kate McKinnon, I don't know much about her, but from what I get from the trailer, she looks like she's going to play somebody who's like really smart when it comes to technical stuff, but is socially awkward because they show her like
She's like the Egon character.
yeah, and she's like, but one thing that kind of put me off is like she's licking her guns in that, and like
Yeah,
immediately I
that was
thought
weird.
of the gamer girl that is like eating her controller,
Oh.
and I'm just like,
Eating the controller.
like if the original Ghostbusters saw them licking their guns, what would they think? They'd be like, "What the hell are you doing, you retard?"
Yeah, but that was also like the 80s, back when like you didn't have to be the prettiest person to be a movie star. Like Bill Murray, the ugliest person in the entire world, was a huge star back then.
But they had a lot of funny people in that. Like,
exactly.
we had
You just had to be funny. You didn't have to be good looking back in the 80s to
Rick
make a movie.
Moranis. Well,
Rick Moranis is awesome, though.
Sigourney Weaver, she's
pretty great.
She's pretty
yeah,
smoking.
She's pretty great.
She's
And that's the other funny thing is they have
We've
Chris,
all had our alien fantasies.
who hasn't? They have Chris Hemsworth as basically like the Sigourney Weaver of this movie too. Thor is like the and they're doing the opposite gender of that too, where it's like the attractive guy.
They're literally.
to
It seems like they want to put everything opposite.
yeah, it's the opposite
but
day.
they made it all sound like right in the beginning. They say 30 years ago, a team of 4 scientists. So it sounds like they're putting it right in the same realm, but same time scale and everything.
It is, yeah. That's the thing. Is it's a continuation, remake, spin-off. Third? I don't know.
I'm just going in really skeptical. That's. It can't be a movie that I'm going to have expectations going into it.
Yeah.
was that a head nod?
Yeah, there's a nod that no one saw except for you.
What about
Passing
you,
the
Edwin? I
pineapple?
think
Yeah.
you had some
head
cast discrepancies.
nod.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
I
there
caught
you go.
that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I do have a couple thoughts. First of all, I didn't like the trailer. I didn't like it at all. Okay, I didn't like
Blunt to the point.
When it started out with the slow piano playing the old theme.
Yeah.
Instantly, I didn't like
It
it.
reminded me of Jurassic World. Remember the first trailer for Jurassic World?
Yes.
Da-na-na.
We
It
should've
works
got-
for that.
Yeah.
Because that one was really subtle. This one was like a toddler
Yeah.
just mashing
I
the keys.
didn't even notice that original Jurassic World one until like the third or fourth time
Exactly.
till I watched it till the
Very
end.
smooth.
And I was just like, oh, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. Also, I'm not a fan of the cast. Now, here's why. There are superb lady comedians out there who would have been perfect.
Name some.
Wanda Sykes.
Oh.
People sleep on Wanda Sykes so hard, and she is hilarious.
They sleep on
She's
her?
got some funny stand-up.
That's a saying when someone is like glossed over.
Oh, I've never heard that.
You're not from the city, that's why, son.
That's a city
That's a
thing.
city
bro.
thing? Sure.
I mean, she did one episode of Crank Yankers, I remember, and it was freaking hysterical. And like I've always liked everything she's ever done. Lisa Lampanelli is brutal, and she'd be perfect.
I haven't watched her most recent movie. What was it? Trainwreck? But I've heard it's really funny.
I did not watch
Oh, wait, I'm thinking of someone entirely different. Forget what I just said.
Redhead is.
So
Lisa Lampanelli.
with
Never
these
mind.
people, I'm more familiar with their stand-up work. So yeah, Wanda Sykes, Lisa Lampanelli, Kathy Griffin,
Ooh, wow. Interesting.
and then either Chelsea Handler. She knows how to deliver a joke. She can deliver a line. Or Elizabeth Banks.
Now,
Tina Fey would work.
ooh,
I think Tina Fey
Tina
would be
Fey
great.
would
I like Elizabeth Banks. That'd be a really good one, too, actually.
Yeah.
Now, I think that maybe the reason that they picked maybe these people over the people that potentially you said, too,
Yeah.
is these are like the young, hot, current, popular crowd of people. SNL is a very popular show. Melissa McCarthy is a very popular actress. So, and I'm not saying that yours.
Tina Fey is
I'm not,
SNL.
I'm not saying that that yours aren't, but she was on SNL like 10, 20 years ago, while these people are on SNL currently. So I think maybe that has something to do with their decision making. They're like, oh, not to mention they could probably get them for a lot cheaper too, because what else are they doing right now?
One thing I noticed too,
Maybe not Christian
is
Wiig,
several
but-
of them have worked with Paul Fig Newton before.
Oh, okay.
in such
that
movies
case.
as
Spy was on there. He directed.
he
Spy.
directed Spy. Oh, well, that obviously makes sense to that casting.
Yeah.
Did you do anything
And-
with Christian Wiig?
Christian Wiig and
Kristen, not Christian.
Kate McKinnon. Christiana Wiig
Christian Bale.
And,
Kristen Wiig.
and Kate McKinnon were both in Bridesmaids, which came out. In,
Oh,
in
right. And I think
2011.
he was involved in that
I
movie
think
too.
he
I think he
directed
produced
that
it or
one, too,
directed
right?
it. Yeah. So I mean, obviously a lot of those picks make a lot of sense. That he's worked with these people before, so it makes sense for him to, if he gets attached to a project, to bring in people. I mean, he's like Tarantino, Sam Jackson, these casting
Yeah.
choices basically.
It's just got to be funny. As long as it's funny, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Will
I
you
was just
never watch
thinking that
another
they
movie
would-
with him again if this movie sucks?
Well, since I never even knew who he was to begin
Yeah,
with,
it
chances
won't
are
be
I'll
good
probably
enough.
watch a movie with him and don't even know
I
it.
just felt like it was a missed opportunity to get some real like comedic heavyweights. Again, Wanda Sykes would just knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
Do you
Man,
think we'll get
Wanda
a guest
Sykes.
appearance by Bill Murray? Darn it!
God no.
Actually,
Absolutely not.
Actually, I think a couple guest appearances have been
1,000.
confirmed.
Bill Murray has to
Sigourney
stand out a
Weaver.
little bit.
I think Sigourney Weaver. I think said
Dan
that she's-
Aykroyd's in it.
Is he?
as
I
well.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Bill Murray, I really do not think
Come on,
he
he
is.
showed up
he
in
should.
Zombieland.
He should. Well, that's different. He was playing himself, so it was awesome. He should be in it. If anyone out of the original cast should be in it, it should be
He had
him.
the most
That being said, I really, really do not think that
He is in it.
Oh, man.
Nice. All right, so
Well,
this might have some redeeming stuff in it.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Because
From the plot, it looks like too.
Well, that's like the plot because there was that line in the trailer where they're like, "Oh, someone's built a device that's amplifying ghosts." My theory was that it might be one of them. That it's like Dan Aykroyd's gone like bananas.
That would be awesome.
I would
Okay.
watch that. Or here's my ultimate theory: Rick Moranis is still dealing with the crap from being like the Keymaster from the first one,
Yeah.
and that's caused him to want to go back to Azul. So he's created the
Dude,
device.
If Rick Moranis is in this movie,
Oh man!
I will get up like somebody down south who's got the Holy Ghost and run around the theater.
All right,
I will baptize.
On that
slap
note,
you.
we do got to move on here. So on the big topic that most people knew happened this past week were the Academy Awards.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, what the hell is the Academy Awards?
You mean the Oscars?
You mean that thing where they give little people gold aliens?
Cool.
Another one off the list.
Yeah, you're on fire
have a
tonight,
joke
Joe.
list?
I know I would.
The Oscars, man. I love the Oscars. I'm one of those people that goes to Oscar parties and really gets involved with who's winning. And I always try and watch all the movies that are on the Best Picture list every year. I never do, but I always try to.
I need to see a few here because there were a lot of movies nominated that I have not seen.
I've actually only recently watched Revenant, as in 2 days ago.
I'll get your opinion on this.
Yeah, we'll talk about that some other time.
I had this joke I did write down, though it's a little late now, but the Oscars 2016 and the Academy Awards, also known as the year that Hollywood felt bad.
Oh.
Because we all know going into this, there was a bit of a scandal, rightfully so, that there were no black nominees for any actors or actresses.
Yeah, because they didn't mention it at all during the Oscars.
Well, that's where I thought they redeemed themselves. But where I really think they felt bad, they finally, as we all know, Leo finally got his Oscar.
Oh, man. Have you guys heard the joke about why it took him so long to get an Oscar? Not the joke, but the story about why he's never won up until this point?
Well, I know about how it's a great meme that is finally dead.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know.
the GIF.
Yeah, but I'm talking the James Cameron thing. Do you guys know about that?
No, I don't.
No.
So apparently,
No way.
while Leonardo DiCaprio was filming Titanic, it was his first time that he ever worked with James Cameron, who's an amazing director and has influence in all of Hollywood. So apparently, when he was really young, he'd done a couple movies. He'd done Gilbert Grape. He'd done The Quick and the Dead. I think that's The Quick and the Dead. I think he was in that. So he'd done a couple big movies. So his head was getting a little big. His ego was kind of getting up there. Apparently, he was just such a little shit on Titanic that him and James Cameron got into it one time. So James Cameron went to his friends that worked for the Academy and said, "Never give this man an Oscar ever."
Wonder if that is
Absolutely ever. And apparently that's always been the running joke is why he's never won one until now is because he's just been shunned by no matter how great his movie. He could have been every single nominated movie and he wouldn't have won by a technicality because of the quote unquote story behind this.
Well, and for this movie, my gripe specifically with The Revenant too, this wasn't even a great movie. So, have you seen this movie, Edwin?
No.
All right, I'm about to break down Leo's acting performance during this whole movie. You ready?
Okay.
Joe, put your
Joe,
pants
And that's
back
about
on. Yeah.
that is
Zip it
literally coping about 90% of his acting in that
Oh, and
movie.
then there was a bear. So yeah.
The bear deserves
The Oscar. No, I mean the movie is really great, but I also agree that it's not. I don't think it's the best Leo movie. I honestly think that it's probably Wolf of Wall Street is maybe one of his best movies.
that is a great.
I like The Great
Fantastic
Gatsby.
movie. Great Gatsby is another really good one. I love Catch Me If You Can. I love that movie.
Django, I think he does great too.
Django's another really great one, but
Old
But
school.
yeah, Leo finally wins the Oscar. And my favorite thing that I saw from the whole thing, so after you win your Oscar and after the whole thing's over, they go up and they get the your nameplate screwed on to the little award. Do you know what I'm talking
the
about?
joke he makes to the person
Yeah,
who's
so like the
engraving,
lady's like screwing on his little nameplate that says, Leonardo DiCaprio, Best Actor, and he's asked her just a casual question. He's like, oh, do you do this every year? She says yes. He's like, oh, I wouldn't know. And it's such a hysterical joke that just had to be made. So
obviously we had to touch on Leo here, but the big one that they always highlight is Best Picture.
Yep.
Here's like all the nominees. A lot of them, I haven't seen. I don't know about you guys, but there was Room,
Nope.
The Martian,
Yes.
The Revenant,
Yep.
Fury Road.
Yeah.
That's a great one. The Big Short,
I'm trying to get my wife to watch it.
Bridge of
Hasn't seen it
Spies,
yet?
She does not want to watch it.
What?
Brooklyn.
Hmm.
So those were all of it, and Spotlight, which was the
Which
winner.
was the winner? That was the one with the church scandal, right? With
it's
had Mark
about-
Ruffalo and yeah.
I would, I'm gonna have to see it now since it won.
I remember wanting to watch it because it looked really good. So now that it's won Best Picture, obviously I need to kind of get on that shit. So.
But don't always, because I went and watched Birdman because it won.
No, don't.
Garbage.
Oh God, come on.
Movie was tailored towards the Academy.
The thing I hate about you saying that is my friend Chris is going to listen to this podcast and he hates that movie too.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh.
And
You're now my friend.
really doesn't like that movie at all. And I've gotten to like verbal abusive fights with him about how great and how amazing that movie is, and I love that movie to
Garbage.
death.
I'll watch it and be the tiebreaker.
Yeah, please.
Chris, we need to go and have a drink together, and then we can badmouth.
Chris, please comment.
No. Chris is a dick.
Chris, list all your points 1 through whatever you have.
Really bash the hell out of the movie in the comments. I mean, just go to town.
Yeah, all capital.
Oh, yeah.
Bold. I want a minimum of 5 italicized words.
We better get a wall of text on this.
Yeah.
So some other awards here that I at least tend to pay attention to. Cinematography.
Yep.
That was won by The Revenant, which, while
It's
The
a beautiful
Revenant
movie.
I thought was a crap plot,
Great looking movie.
it's a great looking movie.
It's
It was shot beautifully, and it deserved that.
But I think the one big winner from that night was actually Mad Max Fury Road. It may not have won the really big awards like Best Picture or things like that, but it took home, I think, 6 awards overall. I think it was the highest number of the night.
That's what's going to help me get Colleen to watch this.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's going to help.
Wonderful movie, but I mean, I think it won a lot of like more smaller awards like Best Editing, Best Sound, Best like things like that, right?
I watched it 3 times. It's
Oh,
a
wonderful
amazing
movie. Wonderful
Best
movie.
mouth spray paint.
Yeah. It was a tough race.
So in another category, me with a graphic background, I always like visual effects. And a movie that won that I haven't seen is Ex Machina, and I got to see it now. Does anybody know what
man.
that's about?
Dude, I watched it. I love that movie. That movie is so freaking amazing. It is visually really cool. The stuff they do with, like, I don't know if you know anything about the plot at all. I'm gesturing to you to answer
No,
that
I do
question.
not.
Okay. So basically this guy who works for this company that's like a Google-type company wins an award to spend a week with the CEO in his, like, off-site, like, vacation home. And while he's there, that guy is basically using the award-winning guy to test out his new Android to see if he can kind of do I think it's called a Bozeman test where no, it's not called that, but it's a test where like you have to have a conversation with someone that may be a robot to believe if they could be faking as a human.
It's the same test that they do in Blade Runner.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So the whole movie is basically you're watching this thing and you have so many different feelings about everything because this person looks so, or doesn't even look real, but acts so real. But then it's like, is she pretending to be human? Is she imitating, or is this real? Is she playing a game? It's a mind fuck of a movie.
Worth a watch?
Absolutely, I love that movie. Did that? It's another one of those movies that like some people may not like the pacing because it's a little bit
Does
slower.
Chris hate it?
Probably.
Okay.
He hates everything There was a running. We used to work together. There was a running joke with me and my friend Chris is that every day he hated something different. So every day I walk in and be like, "What does Chris hate today?" If you ever meet him, mention Drew Barrymore. He will go off the handles. Anyways, he's gonna love this. Great movie, really, really great movie. And I think you will. You and me tend to agree with like slower paced movies a lot. You will like this movie. So.
All right. Well. Our last little thing I wanted to bring up for the Oscars, what were our favorite moments? Well, how about you, Edwin?
And credits. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it.
Me was actually Chris Rock. I thought he did a really good job hosting. I hate to say it that like I hate to say that they picked him to make a lot of the racial jokes.
The year that the Hollywood felt bad.
Yeah, I hate to say that that's why they picked him, but at the same time, he is a very funny person. I thought that he did a really good job hosting. So I think
he's done it before, right?
He has done it before, but this year specifically, I hate to say that they picked him with a purpose, but he did do a good job regardless of anything. The whole Girl Scout thing was really funny.
That's one of my favorite moments.
That was really funny.
When he was
what happened?
So Chris Rock sold his daughter's Girl Scout troops cookies
to the people in the audience live.
If you want to see rich people, they're literally holding up stacks of $100 bills to buy some $4.
That one boxes. Girl Scout squad just wrecked everyone.
But no, it's I think really funny. While everybody in the audience is waving that money, Morgan Freeman's on the stage, and Chris Rock has opened a box. Morgan Freeman comes up, and he just takes a cookie out of the box, doesn't pay anything,
My favorite meme that I saw from that entire thing was there was a picture of Michael Keaton like stuffing his face full of things, and one of Christian Bale doing the same thing, and the meme was the guy who eats the most cookie gets to become Batman, and I was like, yes, that was wonderful.
And then I also thought was really funny is when they were highlighting visual effects, The Martian was on there, and one of the things they showed was they CGI'd Matt Damon's beard.
Oh, that was funny.
And I'm like, really? The man can't grow a beard? You have to CGI it in?
Did you see that beard? Would you want to not shave for 9 months?
I wonder if that was in his contract. He's like, I'll do this movie, but I'm not going to grow my facial hair out. All right, so we're going to stick with the Oscars for our debate time.
Ooh,
and
good.
We're going to be doing, for our debate, it's going to be the best Oscar, best particular. Let me rephrase that. Today's debate is going to be you're each going to pick a movie that has won Best Picture at the Oscars.
In debate. Which one is better?
Which is the best one.
Okay.
And I will give bonus points if you can throw in puns from our previous topics.
Wow.
Not just any puns, but they have to be reused puns?
Well, they have to be referencing what we've already talked about tonight.
All right.
If you can tie it in, you get bonus points from me.
Fine. Better put us on the spot with that.
Yeah.
But all right. Puns don't just come naturally as opposed to you, Joe, who has like a list of jokes that he wrote down.
Hey, I pay these writers very well for this stuff.
These monkeys.
All right. Joe, who's going to go first? How much time do we each get? Let's establish the rules. Let's do it.
So Colton always forces me to go first in my debates.
Man.
And for once, I'm sorry to, if I'm not debating tonight because I know everybody likes to hear me lose.
It's true.
But we're going to see some true debaters go at it tonight. So we'll start with Colton.
Yeah, some true masturbators. And what we're doing, 3 minutes piece?
Yeah, 3 minutes sounds good. I'm looking at the time here. So you can start whenever.
I'm going to start now. So the movie that I picked, which is one of the landmark films of how outstanding a movie can be when you have a great cast, a great director, a great plot, and a great everything, is No Country for Old Men. What an astoundingly oh my God, I can't even put words together about how great this movie is. You have the Coen brothers, who, that name in itself is Hollywood gold. I can't think of a movie that they haven't been involved in that I haven't insanely loved anyways. And most of their movies are always going to be recognized as being some of the greatest film accomplishments of the last decades.
What else have they done?
The Coen brothers?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with their work.
You're not familiar with their work at all?
I'm sorry.
I'm going to pull up a list as I continue to talk so I can kind of just throw.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're fine.
You're fine. So, But we're also talking that we have some amazing cast members that are involved in this movie as well. So we have Tommy Lee Jones, who is in himself one of the greatest actors, I think, of any generation. I mean, how long has he been doing stuff for?
And he sells insurance.
Yeah, and Japanese energy drinks. So, I mean, if we're talking a movie that has such an outstanding tone to it, such a great look and feel, and is just an amazing suspenseful movie, that I am on the edge of my seat through the entire thing. And that's what you want from a movie watching experience. You want something that is making you guess at every turn, that is making you feel almost uncomfortable, but at the same time anxious and excited. It's making the emotions that the movie wants you to have, having them through the entirety of the movie. This is a movie that has been, critically acclaimed, not only for winning Best Picture, a very recently winner of this was only a few years ago, but also won several awards on top of that for Best Screenplay Adaptation. I think it won Best Sound. I think it also won Best Visuals as well. So we're talking some landmark categories that when you put them all together, you get a Best Picture.
Do you know who it was competing against for Best Picture?
I do not remember. I think if I remember the one that a lot of people really liked, it was I don't remember. But with some other great actors that were in this movie that goes on top of this is Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Woody Harrelson. The Coen brothers, though, kind of going into other movies that they've worked on to kind of give you an idea of other stuff. They worked on Fargo, The Big Lebowski, True Grit, and they're working on Hail Caesar, which is coming out this year, or is already out right now, is already getting looked at as being one of the...
With George Clooney, yeah.
With George Clooney. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Amazing movie. One of my all-favorite movies. So basically when it comes down to it, we're looking at a movie that has a great cast, has a great tone, has a great... almost everything about this movie, and it won because nothing else... I can't even remember what else came out that year, because nothing else compares to how amazing Old Country for Old Men is. No Country for Old Men.
All right. I like that movie. That's a good movie. All right, Edwin.
It's a great movie.
You've got 3 minutes.
Okay. So I've actually I've not seen No Country for Old Men, so I cannot comment on its lack of quality.
Oh God!
But
I miss going against a professional in this.
Well, I'm part time. My movie choice is Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. That's okay.
Okay.
Return of the King. So, just to break down a couple stats. So it won 11 Oscars. I believe it was nominated for 13, but it only won 11. Unfortunately, only won.
Unfortunately, oh my God, 11. Yeah.
It won 4 Golden Globes, and it was nominated for over 125 awards, of which it won. It definitely won 100, but it didn't win like all of them. Also, it won 2 Grammys.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
What, for Enya?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what it was for. It was for one was a score. But it also helped inspire Hollywood to take risks with fantasy properties, which we saw a lot of thereafter with movies like Aragon, which apparently was crap. Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia, Golden Compass, and so on. I guess Warcraft could probably be considered in sort of the same genre. It also helped launch Weta Digital, because prior to that, that company really wasn't well known. But now, I mean, Weta did the special effects for Deadpool, and so they're a very well respected company now. They have the largest prop ever made for a movie.
What was that?
Oliphant dead body.
Oh, right.
And I'd like to finish this off with the fact that the movie used 100% real beards.
You still have about 40 seconds.
About 40 seconds.
Talk about these beards more.
Agent Smith was in it. Hey, ghost armies, dragons, people getting stabbed in the face, giant spiders, giant elephants, massive eye, flying eagles, riding those eagles into battle, little gremlin dude who wants a ring, super crackhead, That's what Gollum is, right? He's the king of all
King of all
crackheads.
crackheads.
King of all crackheads.
Okay.
All right,
Think
cool.
we have a movie or podcast title?
Do it. What?
King of all
King
crackheads.
of all crackheads?
I
Alright.
approve, yeah.
All right, yeah, you
So
get
yeah,
your
vote for
time
me.
here.
All right, so I get my minute, my
get your
rebuttal.
rebuttal.
All right, cool. So, Lord of the Rings, great movie. I mean, nobody in their right minds would ever argue that it is not an outstanding movie. But here's my rebuttal to that. I just looked up the amount of money that both movies made. My movie had a very small budget, $25 million. It made 8 times the amount back. Lord of the Rings, the third one specifically, yes, had a $100 million budget, so about 4 times the amount of my money, or my movie, did make back about 10 times that amount of money. So yes, you would imagine that, oh man, I'm just basically giving you statistics as ammo. Man, that sounds great. But the point that I'm making is that money does not equal quality. My movie was able to make an even bigger impact for a fourth the amount of money, win just as many awards as you did, but I also didn't have 2 movies that came out prior as a crutch. I was able to come out with a movie that was a one-off with some of the greatest acting and directing minds of our generation and
Could
kill
you
it.
tell me a scene from that movie?
From Old Country for Old
Yeah,
Men?
that you liked?
Oh man! So one of my all-time favorite scenes from that movie is everyone hasn't really seen it, but you have, right?
Yes.
Okay. When he's walking up to the car with the hydraulic thing
The cow
with the
killer,
cow
yeah.
killer, the entire time he's walking up on the side of the road and he's walking up to that other car and you know that he's about to kill someone. I remember watching that the very first time and like I've eyes wide open, like not knowing what's about to happen in that entire movie. And any time that his character, Javier Bardem's character, is on screen, you know something's going to happen. Your whole body tenses up.
Okay.
It's such a exhilarating experience to watch these acting geniuses sell their craft in a movie that is as amazing as No Country for Old Men.
All right, Edwin, you get your rebuttal.
All right. Is this on?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, it's on. So No Country for Old Men, I'm sure was fine. Again, did not see it, so I cannot comment
okay.
on the quality of garbage spewing from the screen. But No Country for Old Men didn't inspire Hollywood to change course. That's how you know that a movie has a true cultural impact. When The Matrix came out, there was an impact. When Return of the King, landed a crapload of Oscars, that you knew Hollywood was changing. No Country for Old Men comes out, what kind of lasting impact did it really have? In addition, if we're going by quality, which you brought up, quality over quantity here, on Rotten Tomatoes, No Country for Old Men has a 93, Return of the King has a 95. Finally, Return of the King, yes, it was a culmination of a 3-movie thing. But it really nailed epic scope. And you can't penalize a movie just because it's part of a series.
Edwin, can you describe a scene that you liked from the movie?
Can I describe? Yes. The tenseness as Frodo gets taken in by the giant spider. Shelob. Where it's like, you're watching the movie, how can this get any worse? What could... giant spider. You know what? Might as well just throw it on. Throw it on.
Exactly my point. Let's just throw it on. Let's just do whatever.
All right.
No. I want to argue this point real quick. Let's just throw whatever the hell we want at this movie, as opposed to making a movie that makes a story and makes it work. I mean,
stories are built on conflict, man.
Yeah.
You have to add
Yeah,
stuff
what's
on,
more
or else-
conflicted than an assassin in a
the
movie?
judge
What's
has
more conflict than a
decided to
giant
pass a
spider?
verdict.
Yeah.
All right.
How about a
All right,
useless thing?
Audience. All right, so I have made a verdict. First, I want to just give a little commentary. I must congratulate both of you on not choosing Birdman.
Well, I was going to, and then I determined that was a bad call out of unfairness.
But phooey on you guys for not picking Forrest Gump.
I thought about it.
Forrest Gump went up against Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Beat Shawshank Redemption.
I thought about it, but I actually had no idea what your feelings were on that. Some people love that movie, some people hate it.
Best movie of all time, in my opinion. But all right,
Shawshank.
So if I
that's
picked
a
Forrest
great
Gump
movie,
and I literally just said Forrest Gump and then mic dropped,
you would have won.
I kind of like Shawshank a little bit better than Forrest Gump, but they were both.
They were amazing.
it's really
It's
close.
tough.
Yeah.
So you
I'd say
guys both
Shawshank.
had some valid points here. No Country for Old Men has some very memorable speeches in it, particularly when the killer, I can't remember his name, but when he's at that convenience store and he's doing the whole coin flip
Oh,
thing,
my God.
that is a very tense moment.
Kills it.
But and there's several other great speeches in that movie.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings,
Dude.
the epitome of epicness.
You bow to no one, dude. That shit hit me like right here.
I
man.
really liked the
That
Battle of
was like
Gondor.
In your
whoa.
penis?
The Battle of Gondor was freaking
Right in the tip.
awesome.
Yeah.
This is a tough one, though. I could have you.
You're
guys
looking
do a
at two very
tiebreaker again.
very different genres
They
too.
are
It's
different.
very
It's
hard to compare one versus the other.
All right, so I guess I'm going to have to go on my personal feelings, what I like more, and I am going to have to go with Lord of the Rings.
Damn it!
Whoa. How am I going to filter that out?
I don't care.
So Edwin is the winner here with Lord of the
Oh,
Rings,
you bastard.
Return of the King.
Damn it!
Yeah,
Damn it, damn it,
there's
damn
a
it.
spike there. So on that
Whatever.
note, with Colton seething in rage now, will you give us our exit?
I'm doing the exit.
Yeah, Mr.
Okay.
Angry Pants.
No, it's whoever's hosting is supposed to
Oh.
be the exit. Remember,
Fuck
you got to
all
do the
of you.
exit.
So
It's my
guys, I
exit.
just want to say thanks for listening, and as always, we love you.
Yeah, if you liked what you listened to, since you forgot to say it, please comment, like, subscribe. Check us out on Facebook. We also have an Instagram,
Twitter,
SoundCloud,
SoundCloud.
Wait, what? And this has been
The
Wrong Podcast.
Da-da-da-da-da.